Men in general go for attractive women, blood. That's it, bruv. So it don't matter. It don't matter if she's dark skin, light skin, whatever. Men want attractive women. Okay, so period. Can I ask you? I'm just being real. I'm saying one thing. Yeah. A lot of times, yeah, when I go online and I listen to a lot of black women, complaining, a lot of them are not even nice looking, bruv. Right. So that's not nothing to do with you being dark skinned. That just means you're butters. That's what it is, right. Bruv.
But if you look at American media, who the black representation of black beauty, they're all light skinned.
But that's America. We've already talked about that.
But we said they lead. But
that's not
if we bring it back to preference, preference specifically, can I ask you a question? Yeah.
Oh my god! You guys, sorry, I used to watch a documentary called Skin.
I've watched that.
I haven't.
Yeah.
That's not in America.
If we look at preference, there's nothing wrong in itself with having a preference. One thing you actually need to realize, which I think a lot of people are stupid, they don't want to admit. People don't want to admit they're dumb. Most people are actually quite dumb, and most people are sheep. People follow.
Sheep is the key word.
They follow and they just do whatever. They see what people are doing and they just follow. You're susceptible.
Girls do that.
Guys do that as well.
Everybody does it.
People are susceptible to advertising and subliminal messaging all the time.
Yeah, that's social engineering. Yeah.
Social engineering. So if you in your head, you've never thought, oh, a dark-skinned woman is not attractive. Let's say you've never had that thought in your forefront, but you've seen media for years that has portrayed that narrative. Yeah. You might say, oh yeah, I've got a preference for light-skinned women, and not even realize that you've been indoctrinated to a sense to have that preference. Not you, obviously you've explained that you don't have a preference.
Yeah, not every man.
I'm just saying that if a man is going to say my preference is light skin or my preference is someone that doesn't look like me.
Like what 50 Cent said.
I don't know what he said.
He said something about you like some exotic women or something in some.
What is exotic?
What is exotic? Exotic to who?
He just said just not black, basically. Because he's grown up just dating black women.
You can't.
From the past, I want
the men that have a preference. Yeah, cool. Like I said, it's okay to have a preference. If you're gonna have an honest conversation with yourself, how much of your preference is genuinely your preference, and how much of it is you've been told that this should be your preference?
Say. I would say that I have a preference. I would say that I would rather get married to a Nigerian man who has the same culture as me. Do you know what I mean? That's my preference. Yeah, a Nigerian man's gonna be probably a black man. Do you get it? It's fine as long as I'm able to justify the reasons
why
for my preference, rather than
I grew up in a predominantly white area when I was younger.
Sorry.
Thank you. I grew up in a predominantly white area. So for a long time, until I was maybe 14 or 15, I wasn't really exposed to black boys. And the black boys I was exposed to, I was afraid of. Because I was on some level.
That's another thing. Location, where you grow up as well.
Because on some level, I was told to believe that they are scary.
But that's like.
But then that's you being disconnected from your community, though.
Exactly.
But that's like some of the black boys you're complaining about. Even where I live now, there's black boys that I know 18, 19, 20, and they just mess around with non-black chicks. And that's my preference. But it's bro, you've been conditioned. You don't even know you've been conditioned
that's
to
what
be
she's
like
saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing that. You think I'm always here to argue?
Emphasis.
I'm on your side, bro.
Yeah, so I think that preference is allowed, definitely allowed. But I think people need to be honest about where their preferences come from.